In the dead of winter, she vanished without a trace. Maura Murray, her mysterious disappearance remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. What happened that night in New Hampshire? The truth is still out there. On a cold February evening in 2004, 21-year-old nursing student Maura Murray packed up her car and left her dorm at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She told no one where she was going. Hours later, her car was found crashed into a snowbank on a rural road in Haverhill, New Hampshire. There was no sign of Maura. The responding officer noted that the windshield was cracked, and there was a box of wine on the passenger seat. But by the time he returned with backup just 10 minutes later, Maura had vanished into the night. It was as if she had simply evaporated into the frigid New England air.
In the days leading up to her disappearance, Maura's behavior had been erratic. She had withdrawn $280 from an ATM, emailed her professors about a death in the family, which turned out to be a lie, and packed up her dorm room as if she was leaving for good. Her father later revealed that she had been upset about a minor car accident she'd had a few days earlier. But none of this explained why she would suddenly abandon her life and drive into the New Hampshire wilderness in the dead of winter. The initial search for Maura was extensive. Helicopters scanned the area, while teams of volunteers combed the woods on foot and snowmobile. Tracking dogs were brought in, but they lost her scent at the edge of the road where her car was found. It was as if Maura had gotten into another vehicle and driven away. But if that was the case, who had picked her up? And why hadn't they come forward in the days and weeks that followed? As time passed, theories about Maura's fate multiplied. Some believed she had planned to disappear, staging the accident to throw off investigators. Others thought she might have succumbed to the elements, wandering off into the woods in a daze after the crash. There were darker theories too, that she had been abducted by a passing motorist, or even that she had been the victim of a serial killer operating in the area. Each theory seemed plausible, yet none could be proven. The case took a strange turn when it was revealed that a man living less than a mile from the crash site had a history of violence against women. He refused to cooperate with investigators and eventually moved away. But despite intense scrutiny, no evidence was ever found linking him to Maura's disappearance. Another lead emerged when a contractor claimed to have seen a young woman matching Maura's description running down the road on the night she vanished. But this sighting was never confirmed, and like so many other clues in the case, it led nowhere. As years passed, Maura's family refused to give up hope. Her father, Fred Murray, became a tireless advocate, pushing for new searches and investigations. He even sued the state of New Hampshire for access to police records, believing that crucial information was being withheld. But despite his efforts, and those of countless amateur sleuths who became obsessed with the case, Maura's fate remained a mystery. The disappearance of Maura Murray has become one of the most puzzling missing persons cases in American history. It has spawned countless news articles, documentaries, and even a popular podcast. Armchair detectives pore over every detail, debating theories on online forums. But despite all this attention, we seem no closer to understanding what happened on that February night in 2004 than we were when Maura first vanished. One of the most haunting aspects of the case is the last known image of Maura, a grainy ATM surveillance photo taken just hours before she disappeared. In it, she looks directly at the camera, her expression unreadable. What was going through her mind at that moment? Was she already planning to vanish, or was she about to become the victim of a terrible crime? The photo raises more questions than it answers, much like every other piece of evidence in this baffling case. In recent years, advances in technology have given investigators new tools to work with. Ground-penetrating radar has been used to search areas near the crash site, and genetic genealogy techniques, which have helped solve other cold cases, are being considered. But so far, these efforts have yielded no breakthroughs. Maura Murray remains as elusive today as she was on the night she disappeared. As we approach the 21st anniversary of Maura's disappearance in 2025, her case continues to captivate and confound. It serves as a chilling reminder of how someone can vanish without a trace in our modern, interconnected world. For Maura's family and the many people invested in solving this mystery, the questions remain: what happened to Maura Murray? And will we ever know the truth? The answers, if they exist, remain hidden somewhere in the cold, dark woods of New Hampshire. a secret that has endured for over 2 decades and shows no signs of revealing itself.